This is Pam Smith with Farm Journal, and I'm with Steve Stevens. And Steve, you're from Arkansas. Tell me what town?
From Tillar, Arkansas.
Okay. Today you were talking about the fact that you're using dual kinds of traits and managing not to get those mixed up for the most part, right? And we were talking about resistant weeds. And tell me a little bit about your program and what you're doing.
Basically, we're running the Roundup system and have added the Liberty system to our cotton and soybeans, and we've been doing that for about 5 years now. I guess the first thing you do, you've got to keep it straight, what goes where, and I use FarmWorks mapping program to color code my varieties when they go out. I just give them a planter man basically a sheet of paper for each farm that's got the correct variety to go in a certain field, and they hand me back books with paperwork that's got the date, the variety, the field name, the variety, and the acres that they planted on that, so that we can go back and verify that what was to be planted was planted on that field. Then I go back and I use that same program, and I label it herbicide map. This year it's herbicide map 2010. And I label Roundup as one color and Liberty as another color. Distribute that to the local flying services. I give a copy of that to my sprayer man. It's in a notebook where he has his day sheets, where he also keeps up with what he sprayed where, and it's kind of a backup system that, I tell him, you check me. I give him a sheet of paper with a list of fields to spray with a certain recipe, but he is to look at the map when he pulls into a field. Had a screw up on about 10 acres last year where he failed to do that. But we have not, 1,100 acres and probably 50 fields this year. Maybe not that, maybe 40 fields. He has not made an error this year. We've not had one misapplication. The neighbors have learned to ask, is that Liberty next to me or is it Roundup? Because they're basically Roundup. What we're hoping to do is go to a flagging system where each field is flagged. I think that's the ultimate cross-check. A driver going into the field looks at the flags, a neighbor looks at the flag, and he knows what's planted next to him. And I think that's where we're working. But been doing it for 5 years, no big deal. Have to watch the wind. Sometimes we butt this stuff row to row, and we just watch the wind and we go on about our business. None of us know any better that that's hard. Had some comments. Well, I can't run a dual system. If you want to, you can do it.
Why is it important to you?
The important thing is to try to stay out of the resistance situation that we're looking at with pigweed, because it's happening fast. And I have had the insight from Ken Smith, the weed scientist, University of Arkansas, that has been very forward-thinking and has given me the opportunity to look ahead and try to stay out of trouble. Harold Comstock with Bear Crop Science actually got me into the Liberty system when it happened. And it was possibly because I have always tried to look at new things. I was the first to run Roundup. We want to keep Roundup in the system. It's a chemical. We do not want it to go away. Probably the best herbicide ever developed. The only way we're going to keep it is to start using Liberty. And I'll probably be at least 50% Liberty next year, maybe a little more. I'm hoping my neighbors would commit to 25%, 30% would be great. The more the better. The more acres that we can get on a rotation, the better we can handle this resistance thing, and it's real. We've got some people that's in denial, but this thing's real.
Okay, thank you very much.